Hello friends, in the current video we will understand the concept of bills of exchange, right? So prior to understanding of what is bill, what are the features of bill, what is the definition of bill in the light of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 and all those things and format of bill, we will understand the basic concept. I'll give you some examples whereby you can understand, it will be easy for you, right? We'll take two people, that is X and Y, two business people. So what is the status here? X selling goods to Y, let's say rupees 1 lakh, and credit period is 3 months, presume that, right? So credit period is given 3 months, in the sense what, if he sells goods on 1/1/2020, then he will be getting on after 3 months, that is January, February, March. So on 1/4/2020 we will, that is X will get the money, right? So the credit sales and credit purchases are regular transactions in the business, right? So X is the seller now and Y is the buyer, right? So the relationship of seller and buyer exists between the X and Y. Now what happens here? X will be getting the money after 3 months. So credit sales are the regular transactions in the business, right? Without credit sales, the running business nowadays is quite difficult, right? But what will happen here? X will make one document. A document will be prepared by X stating that make the payment on this date or after 3 months to me or to the bearer of this document, whoever possesses this document, this piece of paper, to him or me you make the payment, right? This document will be prepared by whom? The seller of the goods, that is X, and this document will be sent to whom? Y, for his acceptance. Then Y will accept the bill. He will put his stamp and accept and signature. Once this bill is accepted, X will be making, drawing the bill, preparing the bill and sending to Y, right, for acceptance, right? So X here is called as maker of bill or drawer of bill. Drawer of bill, maker or drawer of bill, and sent to Y. Y is acceptor or drawee of the bill, right, in accounting terminology. So once the bill is accepted, what Y will do? He will return the bill again to X, right? So what will happen? The bill is with whom right now? X, right? So what X will do? He will possess the bill and he will retain the bill with him, right? So that is X sold the goods to Y. X is the seller, Y is the buyer. X made the document or maker of the bill or drawer of the bill, sent to drawee, that is Y, acceptor or drawee, accepted by Y and sent back to again X. Now X holds the bill. So why this bill has been prepared? See, as you are already aware, the transactions will be in written, in the sense documentary evidence has to be prepared. So in the same way, X has prepared one documentary evidence that Y has purchased the bill and Y has to make the payment and it is accepted by Y. So in the due course of action in the future, the X can ask the money by showing this document. If Y denies payment, X can file a legal suit or take a legal action against Y, stating that this bill has been already accepted. This is a documentary evidence that he has to pay me 1 lakh rupees. Right? Clear? So, what is the importance of bills of exchange here? Now, holder of the bill is X. Once X holds the bill, what will happen? X will have four options. Who is having here? The X, the holder of the bill. Holder of the bill is having four options. Option 1, retain the bill. Till the maturity date. In the sense what? He can keep the bill with him till the maturity date. On the maturity date. What is maturity date? Maturity date is 1/4/2020. But for bills of exchange, there would be a 3 days of grace period. What is this 3 days of grace period? 3 days will be added to the bill. Right? Suppose 1st April is the bill date, maturity date. So 3 days in the sense 4th April will be the maturity date. Right? So the X will be giving time to Y. It is a general tradition that always a bill contains 3 days grace period. In the sense it will be a time for Y or drawee or acceptor to arrange the funds. So for that 3 days of time will be given, that is called as grace period. Then there is a story of old and ancient style and all those things. I don't want to get into that, just to explain you 3 days grace period. Alright. So bill date would be 4/4/2020. And presume that this date, if suppose 4/4/2020 would be Sunday, presume that. Then one day before will be the maturity date. If it is a national holiday, 15th August like that, 26th January or May Day, 1st May. So then one day before will be the maturity date. Alright, generally 3 days will be the grace period added. So first option will be he can retain the bill till the maturity date, in the sense X can keep bill with him and he can present the bill on the maturity date and get the money from Y. And second, sending the bill for collection, in the sense what? Sending bill to bank for collection. In the sense what? The X can send the bill to bank. So nowadays bankers will render agency services to the business people. Presume that X may not have that much of time, or he may not have labor resources or manpower. Hence, what he will do, he will ask his banker. So HDFC Bank, presume that. So the bill will be sent to HDFC Bank and asked by X to HDFC Bank, collect it on the maturity date. Right? So the bill can be sent to bank for collection. It is quite similar to the retaining the bill till the maturity date. Right? And the option number 3. This is the most important option for the bill, that is discounting the bill. The bill with the banker. This is the most important feature we need to understand. What do you mean by discounting of the bill? Presume that X is in need of money right now. Right? He wants money. So what he will do? He will go to his banker, that is HDFC Bank. Presume that in this case we are taking an example, any bank you can take. He can ask the banker, dear banker, I have to get money on this date, that is 3/4. Presume that the maturity date is 4/4/2020. I have to get the money from Y. But as I am in need of money right now. So please purchase this bill. X can ask to the HDFC Bank, his banker, where his already existing account is there, good relation of customer and banker exists there, right? Then what HDFC Bank will do? Okay, they can purchase the bill, but they will charge some discount. Presume that the bill amount, as already discussed, bill amount is 1 lakh. The HDFC Bank will say that I will deduct 1000 rupees and will give you 99,000 rupees right now. In the sense what? X is losing 1000 rupees for getting the instant cash. Right? So, what is the benefit for the banker for waiting for 3 months? That is 1000 rupees, the commission. That is in the form of discount. That is 1000 rupees benefit to the bank. So, now X will get the money and banker will keep the bill. On the maturity date, banker will go and collect the money. Alright. So, this is the most important feature of the bill, that is discounting the bill with the banker. So, this is option 1. Option 2, option 3, then option 4. What is this option 4? Endorsing the bill. Endorsing the bill to creditor. Endorsing the bill to creditor. What do you mean by endorsing the bill to creditor? So here, presume that the X has purchased certain goods from Z. Let's say 1 lakh rupees, same amount. X has to make the payment to Y. He has purchased the goods. And he even got the 3 months of credit period. Presume that what X will do, instead of signing the agreement or giving the fresh bill, what X can do? Dear Z, please take the bill. The bill can be given to Z. So the bill which is accepted by Y, now held by Z, X has already purchased 1 lakh worth of material from Z, and X can give the bill to Z. Now who is the holder of the bill? Z. So this giving process is called as endorsement of bill. Giving the bill to another creditor from whom we have purchased. So here the relationship seller and buyer. Then here in the books of X, what he will write? Y will be written as debtor and Z will be written as creditor. Right? So like this, the bill can be given to whom? Z. So this is the way, the basic crux of the bills of exchange. Now we will understand the definition. Then other things, instead of writing, I have took the printout, bills of exchange. So bills of exchange comes under the Negotiable Instrument Act, which comes under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Right? So as per the negotiable instrument, the definition says that it is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker directing certain person to pay certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. In the sense what? It is an unconditional written order signed by the maker of the bill, as well as it will be sent to the drawee, that is acceptor, and directing certain person. In the sense what? In that bill, the X can write certain person's name and ask the Y to make the payment to that person, or to the order of the certain, to the order of certain person, right, or to the bearer of the instrument, whoever holds the bill, right? The bearer refers to whoever holds the bill. That person will be given the money, right? So definition says that an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker directing certain person to make the sum of directing certain person to pay certain sum of money. In the sense, in the case X is directing Y to make the payment to whom, to the in the to the order of certain person to certain person. He can mention the name of ABC and make the payment to ABC, or to the bearer, whoever holds this bill instrument, to that person, right? So this is the definition. Now we will come to the bills of exchange must be in writing. In the sense, what it is, these are the some of the essential features, right? Features of the bill. One is it must be in a writing. So oral bill cannot be, you must write a bill, right? Then it is an order to make the payment. There must be an order to make the payment. The order to make the payment is unconditional. There should not be any conditional, right? So if so and so thing happens, then only make the payment, otherwise don't make the payment, right? So such kind of a condition should not be there. It should be an unconditional one, right? The maker of the bill of exchange must sign it. So whoever makes it, he must sign on the bill. The payment to be made must be certain. The amount should be certain, right? It should be written. 1,000, 2,000, 1 lakh, whatever it may be, the amount should be certain. It should not be vague, right? As per the market rate, as per the conditions, such words should not be there. The date on which payment is made to be certain. The date of payment should be certain. On what date the amount is to be paid. The bill of exchange must be payable to certain person. It should be payable to certain person. In the sense, whoever holds the bill are directed by drawer to certain person, then that person is to be made. Then the amount mentioned in the bill of exchange payable either on demand or on the expiry of the fixed time period. So either on demand or expiry of the fixed time period. So once the time period of the bill is done, it should be paid, or when it is produced in front of the acceptor, then it will be paid. It must be stamped and as per the legal requirement. As per the government norms, the bill must be stamped and legally processed. So one format of bill is given. So Mamata is making the bill for 10,000. 3 months after the date, pay me or my order the sum of rupees 10,000 only for value received. So here the date we have, but this is a general process, general format of the bill that we are discussing. So Mamata is making the bill, ordering to make the payment a sum of rupees 10,000 to me or my order. Then signed by Mamata, the address will be written. Then this will be sent to the drawee. In this case, the drawee is Jyoti. So Jyoti will put the stamp and accept the bill, right? And address of the Jyoti, right? So when we write, it is mentioned to Jyoti. This bill will be given to Jyoti, addressed to. So this is the general format in which it will be written, the wording, right? Or me or my order, the sum of, or the bearer even we can add, right? So this is the general format of bill. So in this video, I have explained you the basic crux, right? So try to remember the 3 days grace period of the bill. If the grace period days are falls on a holiday, that is national holidays, Sundays are labor holidays, 1 day preceding the date, right? Before 1 day. 1 day before will be the maturity date. Suppose if it is a what we call sudden holiday. So presume that 4th April was not a holiday, but the government declared holiday on 4th April, which was maturity date. In that case, the banks will be closed or transaction businesses will be shut down. Then what will be the maturity date? Next day. Next day will be the maturity date. These are the basic things, right? So I hope I made you understand the concept of bills of exchange, right? So do subscribe my channel and motivate me to make more videos. Thank you.